Everybody likes flurries. I mean, flurries are probably the most popular thing that they all like. But people will definitely be like on something that they like and they want to stick with that. And they always get that. We have people that come every day. Yeah. And they get the same thing. Yep. For years. It's like, oh, here you are again. Hi. It was my dad who wanted to for years, and he grew up going to a place called Cherry Sweet Shop in northern Kentucky, and my mom worked there. That's where they met, and she had no interest in having their own business, and he's like, he got to an age where he was just ready to get out of working what he was doing, and he was just like, I just want to have it. And they took their retirement and used all that money to start his first business, and it was very risky. So they had a place in the mall, you know, a restaurant style, and then they built sweets and eats, dairy treats in Delhi. So that was the year that my son was born in '85. So I do remember that distinctly. This place was originally owned by the Wernkes. It was built by them. And then they decided they wanted to sell, and that's when my brother actually was very involved with a lot of the ice cream stuff with my mom and dad. And he said, there's a place that I think would be great for you guys. And then my mom's like, a second place? So my dad ran Sweets and Eats in Delhi, and my mom ran this place. And my mom asked me to come and help her here at the Lil Goodie Shoppe because they had purchased this place. But my dad had passed away, so she was trying to run this business by herself, so she asked me to help out. So I came in and helped out, and the end of the season, she's like, do you want to buy it? And I'm like, yes. So, yep, so the rest is history.
My grandma was all on paper for everything. Like her books were literal books. And I remember seeing her like writing in all the things. You know, every receipt got written in the book. Payroll was hand done. And when my mom took over, she moved everything over to a computer system.
I started taking over stuff for her, like doing the payroll, doing the scheduling, and stuff like that, and it was just seeming to come easier for me than I thought it would. And working with the employees was fun, and then waiting on customers. And then everybody's always happy to get ice cream. I would say that probably my favorite part about it was just, you know, being your own boss and being an influence in your community with your kid, you know, all the kids, all the teenagers that we hired through all the years.
My mom was always joyful about working with teenagers. It took me a long time to get there. But once I did, it's kind of like, this is my passion now. Like this is a first time employment for most of these teenagers.
I mean, it can be challenging, but they were fun. They were into it. They loved working here, you know, most of the time. So when I left, I think I had like 30 employees. When I started, I think I had 15. So that's how much it grew. In, you know, 25 years, we had to double our employees.
Getting to work with my grandma and my mom at the same time was really just such a blessing. Like, I look back and a lot of the work ethic and a lot of the way that I think about how to do things, I mean, it's really rooted in those times of working with both of them. My poor mom. So for probably 10 years, I kept saying, when are you gonna retire? When are you gonna retire? Are you gonna retire yet? Because I was so anxious to do more. We had grown, like she had said, like significantly in the years that she had operated the Lil Goodie Shoppe, and we had sought out some advice at like a convention we went to, like, hey, we're so busy, we can't keep up with the demand. What should we do? And the advice over and over was, you need to have another location. And my mom was like, yeah, no, that's not for me. And I was like, I wanted to do more. And I kept thinking, all right, how can we take ice cream inside? So worked with a local designer on creating our soft serve ice cream carts that we use for catering, so we can roll it into a building. We can be outside too, plug in and create soft serve on site for events. So that was my first venture. I'm like, let's do this. It took a couple of years to get that up and running, and now we have 4 ice cream carts, and we're doing events all over the city, which is so exciting. And then this past winter, another ice cream place came up for sale in the Incline District in Price Hill, and my banker actually called me and was like, Jen, you have to come check this place out. So I did, and bought it, and now we've got a second location over there. It was a good fit. So now we have the 2 locations and the catering. So I was anxious to grow. I don't know why I'm so on fire with doing more and more and more, because it can be stressful and trying to operate more and have more employees. I mean, she said she went from 15 to 30. I've gone from 30 to like 55. We've just got a lot of people. I started opening last year at Christmas time for the first 3 weekends of December, and we did a Christmas themed menu that was very limited, and it went over like crazy. Like, we had never been as busy, never, like in the history of the Lil Goodie Shoppe. Those were the busiest days ever. We actually sold out the first weekend, and I had bought enough for 2 weekends. Yeah, so it was crazy. So we're doing that again. But I just keep adding additional. I don't get my whole winters off. When people are like, oh, the ice cream people go south for the winter. No, not this ice cream person. I just keep trying to find more and more ways to spread joy. And I think ice cream brings people a lot of joy. So I've got lots of memories because I grew up my whole life being around soft serve, being around the business. My youngest memories are running around the place, like literally running around and being told, like, stay in the back, stop running by the customers, you're gonna trip somebody. And then one of my favorite memories, which wasn't my favorite memory at the time, that's kind of how it works, isn't it? My grandma would have me practicing change at the cash register. I can remember like standing on a milk crate to be able to reach the cash register, and she'd say, all right, Jenny, if they give you $10 and the total was $5.90, what do you give them back? And you know, I'm trying to pick up the change, and she'd say, like, you know, do it this way. So she taught me change. I probably was like 7 or 8. I can remember her teaching me how to do that.
Well, my first favorite, and I'm gonna get tears in my eyes. It's just her just being real patient with me, teaching me. She's still alive. She's 90. She's in a nursing home, but she still keeps up on what's going on at the Goodie Shoppe. She's always asking us, how's it going? Because she knows, you know, what Jen has done and how she's grown it. And she's very proud. She always says, your dad would be so proud, because it was his dream.
This place has been just amazing. Like the neighborhoods that have been built around here made a huge difference in keeping this place alive. And then a lot of what my mom did to put in systems that could handle the massive growth.
We just have loved, you know, that we have loved the community, that they're the reason that we're here and that we have grown so much. And that's been a blessing that they keep coming back. So a lot of people said in the beginning with my parents, That place down there is never going to be busy. There's nobody that lives around there. That's never going to have anybody going to it. It's just so out of the way. They were wrong.